Once you get the client interview and you're approved, then the visa process takes usually between 6 to 12 weeks. I would say 2 to 3 months. So 8 to 12 weeks is usually how long it takes. We do everything online. We do the recognition of your documents and then get the work permit. Once the work permit is virtually approved, then you have to go to the embassy, the Austrian embassy in your country. And then you get the entry ticket with the visa D usually. If you're from a country where they can enter European Union freely as a tourist, let's say, then you don't need to visit the embassy before. You can just fly as a tourist and pick up your residence card in Austria. And then there's the arrival and onboarding. The probation period is 3 months. So it's important that you secure your job for at least 3 months. Why? We come to this next step. Because with this specific railway client, we have a special offer. They want to follow the International Organization for Migration Standards, IOM. First of all, there's no fees charged for any of the recruitment or the hiring process. So we will not charge you, or you cannot pay us to get the job or to be listed before others. This is against the law in Europe. So yes, there's no fee for that. But also, if you get the job and if you pass the 3 months, you get reimbursed all the cost for the German language. You get reimbursed all the cost for the visa and documentation process and the translation of some documents, and also the travel reimbursement. We can, of course, now unfortunately not pay for everyone the German classes up front. So we had to find a common ground where you say, okay, how can we make this sure? The good thing is if you pass those 3 months, you get a huge amount of money back. And of course, with your local agency, you might find some modules or setups that we can say some of it can be paid by the agency and be paid back then. So that's something we will figure out, and it depends a bit on how we do the setup in each of your countries. But that's really important, this information. And then I want to bring you something else, which is the family migration services. So I know a lot of you have family at home, your wife at home, children, and you want to bring them. Austria offers that. Even with your visa, when we start your work permit process, we can start the one of your family in the same time. You can also go first and do it later. If we do it together, it's a bit easier. If you do it later, it's a bit more processes, but also it makes sure that you really know what you do, because it's a new country. You will have to figure out how much of my salary I really have to sustain my family. It takes time to find the right school, the right kindergarten, the right apartment for you and your family. So of course, from a standpoint of preparing better your family, it's usually recommended that you go first. You see how you like it, if you're really succeeding in this new country, and then bring your family later. But there's also an option to do it together. If we do this path, there's a separate charge because this is not covered by the employer. So for that, we will charge a service fee, but we've done it several times and it works pretty well. And it's really nice that you can bring your family. And this also would mean your children then have the chance to study, go to school in Austria, and find a long-term living in Europe and in Austria specifically. And just to recap all of that, important, is this program right for you? This is right for you if you seek a long-term move to a German-speaking country. If you're not sure where you want to go, you say, I just want the quickest option somewhere in Europe, then maybe Austria is not the right one. Because especially in this railway business, you need to learn German and be ready to work there in the country, outside, might be cold as well. So you go to a German country where there's also winter. If you say, I'm up for that, then you're the right candidate. The ones that want to come, usually you have a skilled worker status. So you've worked in your experience before, you have a degree, you've done already the work, because that's one of the main requirements. And it's really important that you're open to adapt to new environments. Most of you maybe live already in a different country. You've done the move. You know how it is to change environment. Be prepared. It's different. There will be a cultural shock, but of course you will have our support. And of course, if you're not really a fit, if you're not really sure where to go, you don't really want to learn German, and you want things very quick, we are trying our best. The recruiting phase starts in January. And then we have the way that the client contacts us with the right positions. We don't know yet when they will ask us for the train drivers, if it'll be in January or March, when they will ask for the shunters. So you need a bit of patience. But again, this is a long-term project, and we try to place all of you and give you a chance as soon as possible, as well after you have done your part in learning German and getting all the documents in place.